Hey everyone, welcome to another episode of Table Talk. I'm your host, Jake Combs, and tonight we're going to be taking a look at some of the new Kill Team releases provided by Games Workshop for the purpose of our review. And with that, that includes the Kill Team Chalnath booklet, as well as the new Nachmund box set. So let's go ahead and get started there. To start that off, we're going to start off with the Chalnath book. Now, my prediction here is it's going to be very similar to the one that we received not too long ago for Octavius, I think it's Octavius, where it focused more on the stuff that came in the actual same box that originally came out, where you were able to buy those new exclusive models originally, or separately rather. And so I'm guessing that without opening this, my prediction is that this book is going to be a way to get the rules for those new units. So that way, if you do buy those units separately, which I'm guessing are probably going to be coming out the same week that these do, if not maybe a week or two later. So let's go ahead and open it up and take a look. So we start off with our introduction. I love the color choices that they've done. You know, like right here, you know, it's a fully black page with white text, and then we go into white page with black and orange text. It definitely makes it stand out more. It makes the pages pop when you see some differences, like we have a more artsy style image here of some of the Sisters of Battle. And so like most of the fluff, you know, really only takes most of the first 15 pages. Then we go into a section about weapons and war gear, the kill zone itself, and then some of the images of those specific models, and as well as a way to name them, getting some background on them as well, squad quirks, base of operations. And then we go into looks like kind of part of a story, and then the same, you know, fluff for Tau leading into the Kill Team itself, and then a way to bring up names and demeanors so you can customize them, and then special rules for those units. And then we have the archetype, security or recon, novitiate, kill team, with strategic ploys, tactical ploys, and then the rules for each unit. And I'm willing to bet that by the time we get to the end, there will not be any actual 40K rules for those same units. I expect those are going to come out later. Actually, I believe some of them actually came out through the Warhammer community page. Then we go to the Pathfinder Kill Team. So that'll have special rules for them, as well as strategic ploys, tactical ploys, and then the rules individually for each of the units. Now, this one that's squatting needs the drone controller Pathfinder. Now, I haven't built these units yet, but with that one, I was doing some research because, you know, with having these, my first collection of Tau, you know, I've always kind of wanted to build and paint the cover or the title screen to the PlayStation 2 Fire Warrior game that came out a long time ago. And so with this one that's kind of squatting, that would actually be perfect to use as a base for that. Just need the the big long rifle that the Fire Warrior would have. And then some slight modifications from there. Then we got all the different drones that you can use, and then the Spec Ops rules. And then we have the requisitions section. And Spec Ops for Mark for Strike, Philosophy of War, and then we go into a terrain section. And then a secure the relics, or sorry, that's one of the missions. So you have a bunch of different missions that you can actually play, escort, retrieve information. But with them, I love the attention to detail to these. I mean, we have, you know, a detailed map as far as how the terrain's supposed to be laid out, you know, images of some of that layout, and then the details about that mission itself. Sensor grid, spread the word, launch strike, destroy foundations, exemplar, and then we go into the character stat sheets. And then once again with these, they do have the copyright information with permission to photocopy, and then the narrative data cards as well. Same thing with those. So definitely some cool stuff there. I don't believe, if you got the Chalnath box set, I don't believe you'll need any of that though. That's more for the people that are getting the models separately but not getting any of the terrain, that still want to be able to use them. All right. So the Nachmund box set. Now, from what I recall seeing, none of the terrain is new. It's all stuff that we've seen before. You know, we have our pipes. We've got some sort of plasma generators. The crane itself, which always looks really awesome. I actually specifically wanted to get one of these for a while now, to make some custom Necromunda terrain, and so now with this I have the ability to do so. We have some platforms that are gonna connect basically on top of this thing. Then we have another kind of almost like a furnace type thing, and actually looks like, so this one, there's two of this sprue specifically. Same with the generators one. And then we have our couple trays of units. So this is most of the bodies, the arms, heads, things like that for the Chaos models, Chaos Legion, or I believe it's the First Legion, if I remember correctly. The ones that follow Abaddon. And then here's the rest of the bodies, mostly the legs and some of the shoulder pads. And then from there we have the remaining pieces, like the giant autocannon, the chain axe, things like that, which we will zoom in closer on the models, or the sprues rather, here in just a minute. Now, one thing I really like is this bird that they have, which I believe is supposed to like sit on the arm or the shoulder of the leader for the Eldar team, which is pretty cool because I mean they're basically Eldar pirates, which is something I thought was really awesome. And then here's the last sprue. Now, some of the capes have a good amount of detail. Like one of them is very scaly. Most of them are just kind of sheer fabric with some animal fur at the top. We have some, decorative rock pieces to be used on the base. Definitely a lot of great detail there. All right, so here's a closer view of the actual Chaos Space Marine sprues. Now all of the models for the units, these are all new models that we're getting. So that's just the body, and then this is that special weapon sprue. I love the look of that autocannon. Just absolutely menacing looking. I think it does need some more spikes. And then this is the bird I was talking about before. And then lastly, actually, can't see that very well, so let me move the others out of the way. There we go. So this is the main sprue for the Corsairs. And so like here, this is what I was talking about with the cape. Varying styles. I love the kind of lizard scale cloak. And so we've got two variations of the same style right there. And then a lot more of the more cleaned cape. And then this one that's been stitched up. Which I believe that's the only one that's been stitched up, but definitely some really cool stuff. Then we have our insert, and I mean, it's one of the more striking ones that they've done, but at the same time, you know, I like more of the kind of scenic background, so you could use that as like a backdrop for your photos. Then we have our assembly guides, as well as our rule book. We have our map, and then we have two transfer sheets, one for Chaos, one for Eldari. There we go. I love some of the detail that they put on some of these maps, but at the same time, I also wish that they didn't put as much, because some of the detail, like I want it to be more three-dimensional, and it's just simply not. And other than creating that same map from scratch to match it, there's not going to be any way that I'm going to be able to get that either. Excuse me. All right. So we have a very thick assembly guide covering all of the new Chaos Space Marines, the terrain, and the Void Scarred Eldari. And, you know, again, I love the multi-tone assembly guides that they've been doing as of late. It makes doing the assembly much easier to follow, because you actually have these guidelines or these images that show you, you know, like exactly how this piece is supposed to be placed, you know, which angle you're looking at it from to make sure it sits right, things like that. All right. So first off is the map. So they're almost identical, but one is kind of more of a tainted green. The other one's just, you know, worn and dirty and kind of barren looking. separate these out a little bit more, so that way when we move in with the camera, we'll be able to see them a little bit better. Now, this rulebook is very similar to the Chalnath one we just looked at, but focusing on Nachmund. And then we have the legendary Kill Team for the Chaos Space Marines. Then we go into the section on page 24 for the Eldar Corsairs. Fleets of Infamy, and then the actual painted images of the Kill Team itself. Names and demeanors. So nothing unexpected there. And then we go into the rules section, TAC Ops, and excuse me. And then we go into the archetype section for security and seek and destroy, which I'm guessing those are special missions. Specifically for that team. And then we go into the requisitions, strategic assets. Here we go. This is where we were. So then we go, that brings us to psychic powers, strategic ploys, and tactical ploys. And then the data cards for the different teams. And then we go into the Spec Ops rules, battle honors, rare equipment, assets, things like that. And then the requisition section, followed by the terrain section for Nachmund, which does show you painted versions of the terrain. Exhaust vent hatch, the ferrotonic furnace, thermic plasma regulator, and the other thing that I was showing you before was the fuel reservoir and a smokestack. So that's most of what was on that sprue. And then we go into our missions: steal the ciphers, scavenging the wreckage, recover wreckage, escape drill site, blow the reactor, cripple their infrastructure, counterattack, reactivate defense grid, destroy the substation. And then lastly, our data slates, followed by our data cards with permission to photocopy them, printed right there for you. So that's definitely going to come in handy. But as far as the box set itself, that actually covers all of the contents in there. Like I said, we weren't really going to go over the terrain because that's stuff that's been out for a while. But definitely some really cool looking terrain, especially the plasma generators. Really like the looks of those. Definitely looking forward to getting some time to build these and then actually playing on that table. So definitely some things to look forward to. But again, as of today, the day that this video is releasing, this box set and that book are available for pre-order, so you will be able to get those ordered and pick them up soon. I would recommend doing your orders through your local gaming store. I know, like for ours, any pre-orders that we do them through Games U in Arizona. Definitely by far my favorite shop that I've been to. just as far as friendly, knowledgeable staff, great management team, and a great community as well. So I definitely recommend looking into yours as well to see if there's if you can say the same, and if so, then you definitely found a good store, and kind of want to hold on to them tight. So that's it for tonight. Thank you guys as always for watching, and you have a great weekend.